Right now, if you receive Social Security, there is a real deadline that resets every single month. And if you miss it, the Social Security Administration can dock your check or send you an overpayment notice you didn't see coming. I want you to sit with that for a second because most people don't find out about this the easy way. They find out when a letter shows up saying they were overpaid and now the government wants that money back. My name is Mason Parker. For over a decade, I have studied retirement benefits, senior tax programs, and the financial rules that affect seniors every single year. And every month I hear from people who had no idea a simple task, something that takes 5 minutes, was sitting on a deadline they never knew existed. Before we get into it, if this is your first time here, hit subscribe. The rules around Social Security, Medicare, and SSI change constantly, sometimes without any real notice from the agencies themselves, and this channel exists to explain those changes in plain English. No jargon, no fear-mongering. Next week, I'm covering a topic a lot of you have asked for: what actually happens to your Social Security benefit if you go back to work part-time, and how the earnings limit really works. So make sure you're subscribed for that one. For today, I'm walking you through 7 things you need to check or do before this month ends if you're currently receiving Social Security, SSI, or Medicare. Some of these apply to everyone. Some only apply if certain things are true for you. I'll tell you which is which as we go. Number 1, and this is the big one if it applies to you, reporting your monthly wages if you receive Supplemental Security Income or SSI. If you receive SSI and you're also working, even a small part-time job, the Social Security Administration requires you to report your wages every single month, not once a year, every month. The general rule is that you need to report by the 10th of the following month, but the SSA also allows you to report your wages for the current month before it ends, either through the SSA mobile wage reporting app, by calling your local Social Security office, or through your My Social Security account online at ssa.gov/myaccount. If you miss this and the SSA calculates your payment using outdated income information, that's exactly how overpayments happen, and then you're the one who has to pay it back, sometimes months later, all at once. Here's a quick example. Let's say a man named Harold, in his late 60s, picks up a few shifts a month at a hardware store while collecting SSI. He forgets to report 2 months of wages. Nothing happens right away. The checks keep coming, no red flags. Then 4 months later, a letter arrives saying he was overpaid by several $100s and the SSA wants it returned, sometimes by withholding future payments. Harold didn't do anything malicious. He just didn't know the reporting window resets every month. What to do right now? If you receive SSI and had any earnings this month, report them before the month ends using the SSA mobile wage reporting app, or by calling the SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213. Number 2, check that your direct deposit and mailing information is current in your My Social Security account. This sounds basic, but it's one of the most common reasons payments get delayed or COLA notices go to an old address. Every year, the SSA sends out cost of living adjustment notices, and for 2026, that adjustment was 2.8%, which raised the average retirement benefit by roughly $56 a month. If your address or bank account information isn't current, you may not get that notice, and you may not catch an error in your new payment amount until it's already been wrong for weeks. I want you to do something right now before you keep watching. Open a browser or grab your phone and log into ssa.gov/myaccount. If you've never set one up, do it today. It takes about 10 minutes and it's the single most useful tool the SSA offers you directly. Once you're in, check 2 things: your current mailing address and your direct deposit bank information. If either one is outdated, update it immediately because the SSA does not automatically know when you've moved or changed banks. If you already have a My Social Security account, comment "already checked" below. I want to see how many of you are staying on top of this versus finding out the hard way. Number 3, review your Medicare Part B premium and make sure it wasn't taken out incorrectly. For 2026, the standard monthly Medicare Part B premium is $202.90, up from $185 the year before. That's one of the larger jumps in recent years, and for a lot of retirees, it quietly ate into a good chunk of the COLA increase they were expecting. If your Part B premium is deducted directly from your Social Security check, this is worth double-checking now before the month closes out, especially if your income changed in the last year or two, because higher earners pay more under something called IRMAA, the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount, and that's based on your tax return from 2 years prior. If your income has dropped since then, say due to retirement, you may be able to request a reduction using Form SSA-44. What to do? Log into your My Social Security account or call 1-800-772-1213 and ask specifically whether your Part B premium reflects your correct income bracket. If you think you're being charged based on old higher income, ask about filing Form SSA-44 to request a review. Number 4, confirm your new COLA amount actually matches what SSA said you'd receive. I mentioned the 2.8% increase for 2026 earlier. Here's the thing. That adjustment was applied automatically starting with January payments, but mistakes do happen, especially for people who also receive a pension or who recently had a change in marital status, work history, or benefit type. The SSA mailed COLA notices in late November of last year, and they're also available anytime in the message center of your My Social Security account. I want you to do this before the month is out. Pull up your COLA notice online and compare it line by line to your actual deposit amount. If there's a mismatch and you don't catch it, it tends to compound, meaning the error can carry forward month after month until someone flags it. Quick reminder, if you're finding this helpful, hit that subscribe button now and tap the notification bell too, because a lot of these deadlines are seasonal and I don't want you missing the ones coming up later this year, especially around Medicare's fall enrollment period. Number 5. If you've received any kind of overpayment notice, don't let the response window close without acting. This is one of the more stressful letters to get in the mail, and I understand why. But here's what a lot of people don't realize. You generally have a limited window, commonly reported as around 60 days, to request an appeal or reconsideration of an overpayment decision, and in many cases you can request a waiver if repaying it would cause financial hardship. If you request that review within roughly 30 days, in many cases the SSA will pause collection while they look into it. I want to be careful here and say these time frames can vary depending on your specific situation. So don't take my word for it as the final answer. Call and confirm your exact deadline. Let me give you an example. A woman named Diane, retired school teacher, gets a letter saying she owes back nearly $3,000 in what the SSA calls an overpayment. Her first instinct is panic. Just pay it and make it go away. But she calls SSA, requests a reconsideration, and it turns out the agency made an error using an old income record. Had she just paid it or missed her window to dispute it, she'd have been out thousands of dollars for a mistake that wasn't hers. What to do? If you have an overpayment notice sitting on your counter right now, don't ignore it and don't assume it's correct. Call 1-800-772-1213 and ask specifically about requesting a reconsideration or a waiver, and ask what your exact deadline is for your case. Number 6, if someone else manages your benefits as your representative payee, make sure their reporting is current too. This one applies to a smaller group of you, but it matters a lot if it's your situation. Representative payees, often a family member, are required to file periodic accounting reports with the SSA showing how your benefits were spent on your behalf. If those reports lapse or go unfiled, it can actually put your benefit payments at risk of being paused while the SSA sorts it out. What to do? If you or a loved one has a representative payee arrangement, take 2 minutes before the month ends to confirm the most recent report was filed, either by asking the payee directly or calling SSA to check the status. Number 7. And this is the one I want you paying closest attention to because it spikes every month, especially right around when checks go out. Scam callers know exactly when your Social Security payment hits, and they use that timing against you. Here's how it typically works. You get a call, sometimes even showing Social Security Administration on your caller ID, because that number can be faked. The caller says there's a problem with your account. Your Social Security number has been suspended, or there's suspicious activity, and they need to verify your information right now to keep your benefits flowing. Then comes the pressure, act immediately, don't tell anyone, and often a request for payment through gift cards, wire transfer, or your bank account number directly. There are a few red flags that give this away every time. First, urgency. A real government agency does not demand you act in the next 10 minutes. Second, payment by gift card or wire transfer. No legitimate agency ever asks for that. Third, threats to suspend your Social Security number. Your number cannot be suspended. That's not how it works. And fourth, and this is the one I want you to remember most, the real Social Security Administration does not call you out of the blue to verify your account. You call them. They don't call you. If you get a call like this, hang up. Don't press any buttons. Don't call back the number that called you. Instead, call SSA directly yourself at 1-800-77-21213 to check if there's actually anything going on with your account. If you believe you've been targeted by a scam, you can report it to the Social Security Administration's Office of Inspector General at 1-800-269-0271 or report it to the Federal Trade Commission at ftc.gov. Let's do a quick recap of everything before this month closes out. 1. If you receive SSI and worked this month, report your wages before the month ends, either through the SSA mobile app or by calling 1-800-77-21213. 2. Log into ssa.gov/myaccount and confirm your address and direct deposit information are current. 3. Check your Medicare Part B premium, currently $202.90 a month for most people in 2026, and ask about Form SSA-44 if your income has dropped. 4. Compare your COLA notice to your actual deposit. That adjustment was 2.8% for 2026. 5. If you have an overpayment notice, don't ignore it. Call and ask about a reconsideration or waiver before your window closes. 6. If you have a representative payee, confirm their reporting is current. And 7. Stay alert for scam calls around payment dates. And remember, SSA never calls you first. None of these things take very long on their own. A wage report, a login, a phone call to double-check a number. But the system doesn't wait for you to catch up, and it doesn't send a second reminder when a deadline quietly passes. The 5 minutes you spend today can save you months of untangling a problem later. If this helped you, do me a favor and hit subscribe and tap that notification bell so you don't miss the next one. These deadlines shift throughout the year, and I cover them as they come up. And please, share this with one person you know who receives Social Security. A lot of folks don't have someone checking these things for them, and this video might be exactly what they needed to see today. I will see you in the next one.